Hi, this is Anna Shaw, and welcome to a special edition of BTV. Today, we're going to focus on the ongoing coronavirus pandemic and how it's impacting our school and our community. First, our lead story, how members of our community have responded to the virus and the stay-at-home order. I looked into the effects of the coronavirus on our community.
On March 30th, Governor Laura Kelly issued the stay-at-home order in an attempt to slow the spread of the virus. This closed all non-essential businesses as well as schools. Many parents have been affected, especially with having to make accommodations for childcare and needing to make up for lost income. Closures of businesses means layoffs for many people, including now 1,500 ex-employees of Spirit. The unemployment rate of the nation has reached a staggering 14.7%, and students have also been affected, having to be home every day and not being able to go out and see friends. Stay-at-home order in the process of being closed out, life will hopefully be able to return to normal. For BTV, I'm Xander Shaw.
The coronavirus is not only closing down business, but schools as well. Here's Donovan Powell with the district's response to the shutdown.
They're pretty similar to what we do in class, just that I'm not as focused anymore, so I feel like I'm not retaining a lot of that information.
It also affects me because I'm also a senior, so I kind of just want to get it over with, and I'm pretty sure that's affecting a lot of seniors too, not only me.
With district buildings closed, teaching and learning has had to change a little.
They took a week to just kind of plan, taking it slow, trying to come up with the right plan for our district and our students. So they took a week. Phase one was really just about keeping your skills sharp, not letting you guys lose too much of the learning.
In this course is a business competition online. So it's basically like a video game for kids. And so that's something that's really neat that I wouldn't get to do in a traditional class setting.
But for other teachers, it has created some difficulties.
If you didn't have a Google Classroom or a Microsoft Teams already set up and working, you were really in trouble because you couldn't kind of do that on the fly.
Some teachers are taking advantage of video conferences to connect with their students. But what about the students who don't have access to that technology?
Any student that needed a computer to complete work, they were able to fill out a form online, check them out a laptop.
Due to the situation, the district has had to move some things ahead that were supposed to go into effect next school year. An example is Microsoft Teams.
Out of that, we fast-tracked Microsoft Teams, which we were going to use anyway. So that's been definitely fast-tracked.
With online assignments, students have had motivation struggles.
That took away a lot of the incentive for the probably a third of my class to participate. Maybe more than that if you count the ones that had C's and B's and just didn't mind staying at a C and a B,
However, this also opens up the opportunity to get a jump start on college.
And I've never been in an online setting before, so I think this really helps me see what online schooling is like.
Even though the situation with the virus is still developing, the district is still planning on starting as scheduled on August 13th. For BTV, I'm Donovan Powell.
Thanks, Donovan. Now we talk to some members of our senior class for their feelings on graduation and other big senior year highlights being canceled.
It's very depressing. I picked up my cap and gown, and it's sitting on the dresser behind me, and I'm probably never going to wear it, and that's a sad reality to be living in.
It's really disappointing because I was really looking forward to it, and I was really excited about it, but just within these circumstances, then I'm okay with it, but I'm still really disappointed. So.
It kind of affected us seniors a lot because a lot of us were looking forward to the events such as prom and graduation, but it made us kind of sad at first, but at this point we're just kind of okay with it because it's for us to stay safe.
At this point I would be satisfied just to have my diploma and be able to move on with my life, and hopefully all this passes in a reasonable time and we all can kind of return to normal.
The district has recently announced that each school will have an in-person graduation ceremony in late July. Southeast will have theirs at Interest Bank Arena at 11 a.m. on July 25th. Even now, when school buildings are closed, there have still been developments and happenings at Southeast. Despite the shutdown, construction is still considered an essential service, allowing for the ground to be broken for the Southeast Stadium, and it is on track to be done by next year, possibly for our final home football game, October 16th, 2020. When we left for spring break, athletes were gearing up for their spring sports seasons. Here's Shay Trineri, who spoke with coaches and athletes about the abrupt end to their season.
School was shut down, canceling spring sports, leaving the fields empty as students stay at home to be safe and healthy.
I think that having everybody stay home and focus on keeping themselves healthy and their families healthy, I think that it was best to have sports canceled just so that we can focus on flattening the curve and not spreading this virus any further.
I was devastated because I never thought that school would actually get canceled for the rest of the year, and I was looking forward to playing soccer this year.
Though seniors have missed out on their favorite pastime, there is still hope for their athletic future.
I feel for those seniors that are losing out on their season and guys that are losing out on a whole year of baseball. But you know, what those guys established and the culture we've established here at Southeast High School, it's going to carry on.
Most of the time, the seniors that were planning on playing, normally by the spring, should have already been offered or should have been looked at by a lot of the coaches. I believe that the college coaches today will look more at video. So with huddle and videos and just game footage.
Not just only was spring sports impacted, next fall sports were as well.
I have not been able to have tryouts. We haven't been able to come together to have a tryout. And so that kind of impacts us because we have to have an early tryout. That way we can order uniforms and get the new athletes up to speed on different cheers and dances. We usually practice all throughout the summer to get ready for football season.
No one can expect the unexpected, but keeping high hope will get you places.
I certainly didn't see my first year at Southeast ending the way it did this year, but I'm sure that's the case with everybody else. This was a whole new situation to us that nobody's ever experienced, so we all had to deal with it. I'm just looking forward to getting back and starting where we left off and to continue on building everything up.
For BTV, I'm Shay Trineri.
While in-person sports weren't allowed, esports was still able to compete. They took part in the National Play vs League of Legends tournament, taking on Chicago's Lane Tech High School for the championship. They were defeated, but they still managed to take home second place. Way to go, Buffs. As seen in our last episode, Mr. Dieterding is retiring, and his replacement, Mr. Mitchell, wants to introduce himself to the Buffalo community.
Hi, Southeast Buffalo Nation. My name is Ben Mitchell, and I get the great opportunity to be your building principal starting next year. I am following a legend in Bruce Dieterding, but I am up to the challenge. So I am actually coming from Brooks Center for STEM and the Arts, Magnet Middle School. I've been the proud principal here for 3 years, and the natural evolution is to one day get to the big show, which is a comprehensive high school, and Southeast is the big show. From what I've heard, we've had somewhere around 2,000 students, and we have almost 200 staff members. So that's going to be almost 4 times the amount of students that we had here at Brooks and about 3 times the amount of staff members. So I'm looking forward to that. So a couple things that I'm thinking about as it relates to Southeast is I'm looking forward to learning, absorbing, and potentially enhancing the Southeast school culture. I do a lot of research when it comes to my job. So I have really been tapping into many of the alumni who have been at Southeast and talking to them about the Southeast Golden Age and all the great things and the traditions that they had. So I'm going to be talking to the old guard, and I'm also going to be talking to the students and the staff to find out what we can do to make Southeast the best high school in the state, if not beyond that. So a couple things that I think would be interesting to know about me. I will probably be the tallest principal you've ever had. I won't tell you how tall I am. You can come up to me and ask me that, and we can discuss that, okay? Another fun fact that you probably didn't know. Almost 20 years ago or somewhere around there, I did part of my student teaching at Southeast. So I have ties to the Golden Buffaloes. And then the last, well, actually before my last one, I have two parents that were educators, so I'm considered, like a coach's kid. I had parents that my dad was a teacher and an administrator, and my mom was a school nurse. So those are cool things to have as part of my evolution as an educator. And then the last thing that I think is a little known fact is I've got Michael Jordan stories. I actually had a cup of coffee with the Chicago Bulls. And the reason why I bring that up is during this pandemic, we haven't been able to see any sports. And I think most people have been, at least sports fans, have been watching The Last Dance. And that takes me back to some memories I had when I tried out with the Bulls. So ask me some of those stories too when you meet me. All right, Golden Buffalo Nation, this is Mr. Mitchell, your future new proud principal, and I am waiting to meet you all.
Thank you for joining us on this special edition of BTV. And as always, Buffs, stay safe and have a wonderful summer. For BTV, this is Andrew Shaw. Good luck and good night.
Said that backwards, but close enough.
Oh, really?
It's good night and good luck.
Oh, whatever.